If there is one way to guarantee that a person never quits porn and continues to spiral up and down, is this what I'm going to talk about in this video. I'd like to start this video with a story from my own personal life. I remember vividly this one moment when I was 12 years old. Now keep in mind, at the time, I knew about porn. I had watched a little bit of it, but it wasn't hooked yet. But I can remember me sitting in my room on my bed, looking through my window outside, thinking about how my life sucks. Now I didn't want to end myself, but I was thinking about how I'll stay alive just for the sole reason to see how much worse my life can get, how much more ridiculed I can get, how much more can life beat me down. That was my mindset at 12 years old. Now, as I said, I wasn't addicted to porn yet. By that time, I was thinking those thoughts. I hadn't hit my puberty yet. But imagine what happens to that kid 6-9 months from that point when he decides to go and watch porn and fap to it. Imagine a year from now when he's doing it 2-3 times a day to hardcore pornography and has the same mindset. Do you think that's someone who will be able to easily break the chains of the addiction in the future? Or do you think that that person will struggle for years, and even though he'll be able to taper it off to a couple times a week, once every 2 weeks, but he'll slip back because of his sick thoughts? You see, having beaten my porn addiction, I'm sober for over 120 days now. I have never went this far in my nofap journey, and I've never felt like I made a transformation like this before. So I know that this is for real. And I see people in forums for nofap or groups or communities that are going through the same things that I've gone through and having the same mindset that I used to have. Check out this sentence from a guy that I was talking with and I was trying to help him. And recently I decided to use my strategy a little bit for helping these people. And I tried to make a connection with them by coming from a further point. So I don't start with just asking how much you've had, or how old you were when you started doing that. I ask him, what do you think, what is the core reason behind your porn consumption? And they usually have a plethora of things that they tell me. And this guy in particular was something that I think a lot of guys who are struggling with porn, with fapping, with fetishes, anything like that, go through as well. It's loneliness, sadness, overall just dissatisfaction with life. And how can you beat porn? How can you beat this addiction if you go through life having this mindset? If you wake up in the morning and you don't even want to get out of bed for hours, everything's great for you. Now the question is, how do you deal with those thoughts? And I'm not one of those guys that just say, just be optimistic, right? Just be happy that nothing's bad happened to you. When I used to feel that way, I didn't want anything good happen to me. That's why it was a vicious circle. The porn addiction was a vicious circle because it hurt me and I wanted to hurt myself. That's why I would do it again and again, even though I said that I don't want to do it. Deep down, I wanted to hurt myself because I saw myself as a useless who cannot amount to anything. So it only makes sense if I fap. What's the reason why I should even try to stop that? I knew I was sinking, but that's what I needed. That's what I thought that I deserved. How can you get out of this? What's even the mindset shift that you have to go through to do that? And one of the ways that I was able to deal with it is understanding that life is unfair. And funny thing happens is that when you realize that, by the way, this quote is said by Bill Gates, right? And most people would consider him pretty lucky. How would he come up with such quote, right? But when you adopt this mindset that life isn't fair, nobody's coming to save you, life becomes unfair for you, but in the opposite way than you're used to. You start getting luckier. A little bit unfair, but in the positive sense. So what helped me quit porn in terms of my mindset shift is destroying that victim mentality. Where's the reason why I have this quote from the gospel hung on my door? In that verse, it's talking about how problems, challenges, struggles are there to make your faith stronger. And one should feel joy, excitement about these things because what waits for you on the other side is the version of you who is proud of themselves, who's strong in faith, who's virtuous. And the only way you could become this way is not by being born that way. It's not by learning or reading about it, but going through the struggles, by feeling the opposite of what you are called to be. There's a very interesting idea that stuck with me for years. I was maybe 16, 17 years old when I heard this saying from a channel talking about stoicism, and it went something like this. The most rebellious thing you can do in the face of trials, in the face of death even, is to exhibit that joy. Just be joyful in the moments of pain and struggle. And kind of just inviting more pain into your life. Now that was a very strong mindset shift for me. Imagine going through life, getting beat down, and laughing at the face of those who beat you down. Imagine being that untouchable. And now, instead of thinking, how can life ridicule me even more, I'm thinking, please hurt me more. Like, show me how much you can hurt me, and I'll show you how much it doesn't faze me and how much I'll grow from that. So after quitting my own 10-year-old addiction and helping over 100 people at this moment, I've developed this roadmap for quitting porn, essentially. And there's a section called finding your reason for quitting. And to stop that apathy, that masochism, that hatred for yourself, I think it's important to find two reasons, apart from feeling good about yourself, for you to help move forward. You see, it's not just about yourself. There are two relationships that will strengthen when you quit porn. So the first relationship is with God. You'll stop feeling like a letdown after you quit porn, after you quit lust, after you quit the sin, and you are able to withstand temptations in the face of them. Your connection with God will be unmatched. Imagine defeating the strongest, the most primal, the most satanic desire, which is actually directed against yourself. Imagine how virtuous you can become in the eyes of God. And the second relationship that you will be able to cultivate better is with other people. Maybe that's finding a more virtuous wife. And I know some people are nihilistic about this one. They never had a girlfriend and they were rejected a lot of the times. That's the apathy. I was the same way as well. But you need to believe. First, you need to destroy that victim mentality. And other relationships, imagine being a role model at your church. Imagine helping others with this problem of porn or lust, or even having your YouTube channel. So that way you know that you're not doing that for just yourself, but there are other people who depend on you. That, at least for me, that gives me a strong desire to do anything, basically, to get out of bed and conquer dragons, right? Alright, I hope you found this video helpful. If you want more information how to beat porn and lust, if you want to make a physical, spiritual, and mental transformation, don't hesitate and join the free community Addicted to Virtuous in the description box down below.